Hello beautiful people, and yes, I'm talking to each and every one of you. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. My name is Kendra, and before I get into this video, make sure you don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up before you leave today. So guys, welcome to the third video of the three-part series that I have been doing, which is reviewing the DBT program. Now this third module, it's called Emotion Regulation. The main things that I've learned from this module is how to identify what emotion I am experiencing, what caused the emotion, so just backtracking what events happen throughout the day if that emotion didn't happen till later on, and then also how to change the emotion. There is an acronym for this module as well, so like I mentioned, DBT loves acronyms. The acronym for emotion regulation is ABC please, and the A in ABC stands for accumulate positive emotions, and you can do this by increasing your amount of pleasant events. And in the DBT program, they do give you a few different lists of different examples of what to do for these pleasant events. I'll give you my top 3, and that is listening to music, going on adventures. So for example, we just moved to a different part of the city, which means we are in a new neighborhood, and we like to walk around and kind of discover I don't know, like new parks that are around, or maybe like little stores here and there. And that's kind of doing a few different pleasant events at once, because on the list it includes like sunbathing and walking, and I guess when we go on our adventures around the neighborhood, we are getting sun, we're doing the walking, and we are discovering new things. Another big pleasant event for me is laughing. So I really love to laugh. There's actually a video specifically that I'll turn to if I do need a good laugh, because it never fails. Maybe I'll link it below. It's a couple that I watch on YouTube, and they do pranks, and this prank is totally harmless. It's just simply funny. It might be a little immature, but yeah. I'll link it below. It's important to remember that when you are doing these pleasant events, to focus on that pleasant event. Don't try to multitask. So give it your undivided attention, and try to avoid unmindful thoughts when you're experiencing those pleasant events. So for example, if you find yourself having a really good time doing that pleasant event, try not to think about, oh well, how long is this gonna last, or if you even deserve that positive feeling. You do. So embrace it, and if negative thoughts do pop up, try to refocus your thoughts on something positive. The B in ABC stands for build mastery, and you can do this by making sure that you do at least one thing every day that gives you a sense of accomplishment. For example, something that sets me up for the day is making my bed every morning. I literally cannot do anything else. I feel just incomplete if my bed is not made, and if it doesn't look like pretty and put together. Like I bought some extra pillows to make it look, I don't even know. That's just something small that I do that sets me up, that makes me feel more accomplished each day. I won't shower, I won't do the dishes, I won't clean the bathroom, I won't do anything if my bed is not made first. And you can also challenge yourself with a difficult task that is maybe difficult, but it's not impossible. And if you find it too difficult for you to complete, move on to something else that's difficult and will give you the same sense of accomplishment. The C in ABC stands for cope ahead. So if you are well aware of something that triggers you, put a plan in place for how you will cope with that thing. So if you know that you're gonna have a difficult conversation with someone, try to imagine it happening, like rehearse the conversation, and then do your coping method after you had the conversation, after you've rehearsed the conversation. If you really like breathing exercises, have that conversation in your head, or even if you want to speak to yourself in the mirror and imagine your reflection is that other person that you're talking to. Imagine what reaction will trigger you the most, and practice reacting to it. Practice coping with it, like your breathing exercises. Set your body up for like the best reaction possible. So a few different ways that I cope ahead. It's actually 2 different ways. So when I go to the grocery store, I have a lot of social anxiety. I absolutely hate being in the same aisle as people. I hate asking for help to find some things. My boyfriend, he's complete opposite, because he will gladly ask for help, but the minute he asks for help, I'm literally running down the aisle, like getting away. Oh my gosh, guys, you will not believe what just happened to me. My camera or my phone just shut off because I just waved at it and I forgot that I had the wave effect activated. But anyway, I'm back. Something that I do ahead of time before I even get to the store is I'll research if I'm looking for an item that I don't shop for normally, so I don't know where it is, and I'll research what aisle it's most likely to be in. Some stores are actually really nice because, for example, Canadian Tire, if you're looking for an item, you can search it on their site and it'll tell you which aisle it's in. Shout out to Canadian Tire because you make my life 100% easier. And sometimes if I can't find it, I will ask for help eventually. Another example is with my hyperhidrosis. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's basically means that a person excessively sweats for no reason at all. It's not due to exercise or being too warm, you just sweat. It does give me a lot of social anxiety. So for example, if I know that I'll be going over to a friend's house, like before COVID we used to go for game nights, I would prepare by making sure that I have enough paper on me, like enough like napkins or whatever, and I'll try to make sure that I'm wearing like loose enough clothing, even clothing that I can easily hide if I need to adjust like the paper in my underarms. For example, I think I've used this a few times. It's just like a shawl thing, and it's a little chilly in my house today, so that's why I'm wearing this. You would not be able to see what I'm really doing underneath this. I can switch or adjust any type of paper in my underarms if I need to without someone actually noticing. I will also make sure that I know where the bathrooms are at all times so that if I do need to dip out and adjust myself, then I can. But the key is to practice coping with whatever is going to trigger you if you're well aware that something will trigger you before it happens. Now for the acronym PLEASE, the P and the L stands for sort of like the same, they're combined, so it stands for physical illness. Well, the word for the P and the L is actually physical, so the P at the beginning and the L at the end. So make sure you're taking care of your body and keeping up with any treatments that you need to do to manage whatever physical illness you have, and make sure you talk to your doctor so that you know all of your options on what you can do to improve your physical health. The E stands for a balanced eating. So I know this is easier said than done, but something that I have noticed over time is if I eat like a stupid amount of sugar, it actually makes me irritable. And a lot of people are experiencing different emotions for, it appears to be like no reason. But if you look at your diet, try to identify what triggers whatever emotion you're experiencing more often. For me, like I said, I can identify now that if I've eaten a significant amount of sugar the day before, I have like a whole hangover like feeling the next day. Even though I haven't drank anything, I feel really hungover and I get irritable. My brain will be like throbbing, so I have like these really intense headaches. So I don't want to hear people talking. I don't want to see loud things like loud colors. I don't want the lights on. I just get pretty mean sometimes, and that's when I'm like, okay, I've had way too much sugar yesterday and I need to do like a whole water detox now. And I'm so proud of myself for this because I was the biggest like sugar addict. I would order small coffees with 11 sugars and 2 creams, and I could probably drink like more than a few of those a day, and that was just a stupid amount of sugar. And I could still go home and eat like cake and ice cream and just all the sugar, all the sugary stuff. But now, because I kind of did like a whole detox, I tried Whole30. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I'll put a link in below that explains it. And basically you're just hitting the reset button on your body. So it really helped me identify which foods I react to. And so me doing Whole30 kind of put a whole reset on my sugar tolerance, and now I'm able to identify when too much sugar is too much and when I went way overboard, because I will experience emotions and physical symptoms due to the amount of sugar that I've been having. So I would just recommend doing research on everything that you eat so that you know what effects they could what effects each food can have on you. The A in please stands for avoid mood altering substances, so like drugs and alcohol. I have done this by just not getting drunk, because I know that when I get drunk I can get really emotional, or I'll just want to fight. Anyone who has known me in like my late teen years compared to now, they will tell you that she doesn't drink as much as she used to. I used to be totally that type, you know, when you're young and you're at the club every weekend and you're getting drunk. Well, it started getting a lot more embarrassing, because when I say I get emotional, when I drink too much, I get emotional. So I'm just an emotional mess. I'm crying, my mascara, everything is getting messed up, and a bunch of strangers are staring at me and thinking, oh, this girl's crazy. And I live in a smaller city, so I really don't want that reputation. Now, I haven't cut off drinking completely. The only times that I'll drink is like for special occasions, and if I do drink, I'm gonna drink something that's not like hard liquor. So maybe just like 1 or 2 coolers, might do a couple shots, but I will never ever get like stupid drunk to the point where I can't control my crying. But if you know that different substances have that effect on you, try to avoid those substances. I suck at pronouncing some words. The S in please stands for sleep balance. So make sure that you're getting the right amount of sleep, because if you don't get enough rest, it will affect your brain significantly. Like, it's just, your brain's going to malfunction if you don't get enough rest. So try to get a balanced sleeping schedule. And the E in please stands for exercise. And you don't have to go to the gym and spend a lot of money on a membership. Even just walking every day for at least 20 minutes, or if you want to do jumping jacks or just something, some kind of home workout, something that gets your blood flowing, your heart pumping. If you spend at least 20 minutes of doing some kind of physical activity, that will count as exercise. Something that I learned from emotion regulation is that every emotion has an action urge, and there's always an opposite to that. So for fear, you either run away or you approach and not avoid. Or for shame, you can either run and hide, or you can tell the people that you trust with that information. And then for anger, the action that's urged is to attack, or you can gently avoid. So remember when I was telling you about my social anxiety when it comes to grocery stores? Well, I was looking for something at the grocery store literally 2 days ago, and my boyfriend had been in a whole different section looking for one of his products, so I was alone. And I actually went up to a worker and asked for help, and I felt fear. I think I circled the worker like a couple times before I actually worked up enough courage to ask for help. But I did. The fear emotion just disappeared. Like, it took maybe 3 minutes. Another one with anger. So my computer sucks so bad. Like, it doesn't suck. It just sucks for what I want it to do. And that's for editing my videos. It's not a computer that's made for editing videos. It's not like a fancy MacBook or anything like that. So a lot of the times when I'm editing, the screen will like go black or whatever. It's because of the rendering. But when it happens, I see red. I've got so angry to the point where I'm shaking and I'm like swearing, and I just want to smash my laptop. But I've gotten to the habit of considering what the outcome will be if I did act on the negative action of my emotion. So if I did end up smashing my laptop, well, then I'd have nothing to work on at all. Like, not even something that maybe isn't the best but works. I would just have nothing to work on. When I was editing the last video for what was the last video that I did? Distress tolerance. My computer was acting a little funny. So once the screen went black, I turned around and I looked at what was on the TV, which was, I had Grey's Anatomy playing in the background. And I've learned that if I just refocus my attention on something else, even if it's for a split second, because though the screen will go black, it's gonna come back in a couple minutes, if not in seconds. So I just try to refocus my attention at something else for a certain amount of time, and then I'll check back. I'll look back at the computer and see if it's came back. If it hasn't, I'll look back away at something that's distracting me from overreacting and wanting to smash my computer. So one thing that I would definitely recommend is, if you have an emotion and you want to act on it, consider whether that action that your mind is urging you to do, consider if you're gonna have a good outcome after you complete that action, or will the outcome be bad? Will it make your situation worse, or will it improve it? Consider that before you act on your emotions. I hope you guys love this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up before you leave today, and don't forget to show some love to that subscribe button as well. I do have loads of content coming, even though that this series is done. So stay tuned, and thank you for all your support. I appreciate you all, and I will see you later. Bye!